When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/team-up.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Sunday. It's been dry for most of us, but still beautiful. And I'm here in the Room to Room Weather Center ready to give you all the rest of y'all's weekend forecasts. And notice how I said it's been dry for most of us. We've still had those summertime pop-up isolated showers. It's just affected very few of us and the lucky ones, to be honest, because we're all wishing for those rain chances. But I'm going to continue to give y'all an update on those rain chances, not only as we wrap up the weekend, but get ready for our work week as well. And then, of course, I'm going to give y'all the latest on the tropical development because National Hurricane Center continues to get more and more confident for disturbance number 2 out in the Atlantic Basin. So stick with us for the next few minutes as I continue to go into that forecast. But looking out across the viewing area, you can see out in Greenville, 90 degrees, but feels like 97. So we still have that mugginess out west in the Delta, but still picture perfect skies, beautiful clouds across the entire area. So it's hot, but it's Mississippi, it's summertime. So just go out, enjoy the temperatures, especially while they're still below average. You can see this also in Kosciuszko, continuation of those beautiful skies. Temperatures 88, feels like 95. So we still have the mugginess in the area, but it's just something we Mississippians are definitely used to by now. And then here's a great shot out in Pontotoc showing those darker clouds almost teasing us with those rain chances, still having those isolated pop-up showers into the evening, but still staying relatively dry. But it gives us some nice shade from the sun. But down in Pontotoc, don't really need it with temperatures coming in at 90. Feels like 91. But looking at the current conditions across the entire viewing area, you can see pretty much 90s, or just 90 across the entire viewing area. 90 in the Golden Triangle region, already seeing some folks going in the upper 80s, up 88 in Louisville, 89 in Vernon, 88 in Hamilton. But of course, you can see 93 in Greenwood as well. So chilling around the low 90s as of right now. Heat index also below triple digits right now. So on the downhill climb from this afternoon, you can see highest value, well, there we go. Greenwood's still coming in with the triple digits right there. But 97 in South Haven, Tunica, Greenville, but then still double digits for most of us, almost flirting with those triple digits, but not as muggy as we get closer towards the evening. So looking at the first 12, you can see these calm conditions are pretty much going to continue to be the story. Still have those chances of those isolated pop-up showers. I know we're all going to be wishing that we're some of the lucky few that get it, but we're going to continue to track those out. You can see those clouds are going to start to come in overnight and then start to fade again as we start our early morning hours on Monday, kind of a repeat of what we did early this Sunday morning. But remember, I said it was dry for most of us. We still had those pop-up showers. You can see some affecting those around I-55 out west and around the Delta. So definitely enjoying those rain chances with how hot it is out there. But as you can see here, they're very quick. They're not going to be long-lived. They're those cyclical is a term Matt and Gabe have used a bunch earlier this summer, just showing how quick they can pop up and then dissipate right before you even realize that it's happening. But gives us those cooler temperatures. You can see kind of a stronger shower just in the Memphis region, giving us some rainfall just north of Lakeview and around Darwin. But that's pretty much the most action that we have going on in North Mississippi. Staying relatively dry, you can see across most of the viewing area. Rain chances still staying north of us up in Tennessee. But if we want to keep going out, let's see if I can do that real quick. I'll just go right here. Yep. Yeah, pretty calm condition. Actually, I'm still using the same radar. Let's switch to national and then go radar. There we go. So yeah, there's all the thunderstorms out in the area, none really close to us. See some out in Texas, some severe thunderstorm warnings, I believe. Yep. Out in Colorado. So nothing affecting us. Definitely don't want anything severe. Just kind of wishing they can share some of that rainfall as well. But continuing looking into the futurecast, you can see some of those showers trying to still affect us as we wrap up the evening. Just those pop-up showers around the Memphis region and up in the northwest portions of our viewing area, still trying to linger as we get closer towards the 10 o'clock show later tonight that I hope y'all can all tune into. But basically, cloud cover is going to be the story, and then it'll just eventually start dissipating as well, similar to what it was earlier this morning as we started off our early Sunday morning commute, kind of looking towards the same conditions as we get ready to start our work week Monday morning around 9 a.m. No clouds in the sky, so beautiful, calm conditions in store for us. But this is the exciting part of the broadcast because talk more about those rain chances. It's not much for tomorrow. I still want to keep that in mind, still very isolated, very spotty. For those that get them, it's just going to be the lucky few. Showing best case scenario that maybe everyone can get affected with those showers. It's not going to be the case, and even so, we can see here, it's just going to be 1/100 of an inch. Then we can get to 1/10 and maybe 1/4 of an inch, but that's more south of our viewing area. However, Tuesday, we start seeing better chances. You can see all these values start kind of increasing for our viewing area, seeing around 1/4 of an inch for the southernmost portion of our viewing area, transitioning into 1/10, and then out in the delta, 1/100 of an inch. But y'all got some today, so kind of need to share it a little bit as we continue into the work week. But looking at the next 24, you can see those dry conditions are going to be pretty much still dominant as we continue into our Monday and before those rain chances really start to arrive Tuesday. You can see starting off our day in the mid 70s, pushing our way up into the upper 80s, lower 90s as we get ready for Monday and just start off our work week and then start slowly climbing back down into the lower 80s by the time the evening arrives. So continue, I hope you can stay here as I continue my forecast where we're going to go back towards North Mississippi, showing when those rain changes will arrive and what day looks the best, and of course, the update on the tropics. So can't wait to see you back here in 60 seconds, and I'll see you in just a minute.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lopon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lopon has proven himself trustworthy.
Well, thanks for sticking here with us at Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Of course, I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut. Now, I wanted to show you all these weather watcher pictures that we sent in. Y'all did a fantastic job again. Now, 2 days in a row. Maybe I might be the lucky charm. I might have to see if Gabe can find some like these. But this one isn't out in Oxford. You can see Cindy showed those cumulus clouds, kind of showing the darker aspect of it, almost teasing those rainfall chances. So still those spotty chances for the rest of our evening. But this weather watcher picture, I was very excited to see. This was sent in by Kaylee all the way out in Brasstown, Bald in Georgia. She said this is the highest elevation point in that state. And so she took this breathtaking view of the sunset and what's actually called a split sunset. She was asking what causes this, I guess, view or pillar in the sunset. And so basically when the sun starts setting behind the horizon, it starts disappearing and causing those sun rays to display and refract the light, causing the beautiful sunsets to occur. But of course, we all know once the sun disappears behind the horizon, it's not gone. Like, we know the sun still exists. And the same thing can be said for clouds. So there are clouds below the horizon, far away in the distance, and that just means that there's one tall and dark and just strong enough to block that sunlight. And it's just an obstacle in the sky causing those rays to be pretty much split and calls that split sunset. So very unique sunset that she sent in. We love seeing those weather pictures and just appreciate y'all continuing to send in y'all's weather pictures. So greatly appreciated from Kaylee out in Georgia. But looking at the campus cams back in Mississippi, you can see 90 degrees in Oxford, but feels like 91. So beautiful conditions as you start wrapping up your Sunday afternoon and heading into the evening for any evening plans that you have. And here's another breathtaking shot out in Tupelo, just showing that, and the wasps tuned in as well, but showing that temperatures are 90 degrees, feels like 93. So still, it's hot, but pretty perfect for our Sunday, wrapping up our weekend to get ready for the work week. Those conditions right now around 90 degrees, feels like 93. So just perfect way to end the day. But looking at our day planner, as we head into the evening, we can start seeing that we're getting back into the upper 80s, slowly making our way into the upper 70s as we continue into those overnight hours. So for those still trying to enjoy the weekend before the work week goes, you can see temperatures are going to take that sharp decline as we head into the overnight hours, getting to a low of around mid to low 70s as we get ready for our day ahead. But tracking this out on Futurecast, you can still see those just pesky, spotty rain showers really trying to affect some of us. I know we're all rooting for them up in Marshall, Tippah, and Benton County, and then out here in the Delta as well. But those chances will start to fade on with the night. And of course, as those showers fade, so do those clouds. So we should have some pretty clear skies as we continue into the overnight hours into our Monday. So should be a beautiful start to our work week as we get ready for those early Monday mornings that we're all ready to get started for. But for our low temperatures, like I said, mentioned earlier, kind of the mid to low 70s, seeing 72, Starkville, Louisville, Macon, and then expanding it out to 74 in Greenwood, Belzona, and then 75, of course, in Greenville. But tracking this out on Futurecast, showing the conditions as we continue into our Monday, those clouds will eventually start to return, providing some brief shade from the sun, but pretty much going to be partly cloudy skies and not really affecting most of us. But the moisture will start to return as we go into our Monday, and notice how these rain chances aren't very promising for our Monday. The rain chances, I've actually took them back just a little bit because the models aren't really doing a great job forecasting these, and they've been a little too aggressive and showing that this isn't really showing much rain in our area. You can just expect that those showers that will occur will be very limited and only affect a small amount of us. But look at those high temperatures, especially with no rainfall, definitely pushing the mid 90s. You see 91 in the Golden Triangle region, but further out west, you can see 93 Water Valley, 94 Grenada, but then 96 in Greenwood and Greenville. And of course, those heat indices will be a little elevated as well, kind of flirting with those heat advisories, as you can see 104 in Greenville. Of course, thankfully, the National Weather Service has not started issuing those, so we're going to enjoy these below average temperatures while we still have them. But those double-digit heat indices will remain for the rest of our viewing area, but almost pushing triple digits. So mugginess is starting to return. It's just something we got to get prepared for, but I know us Mississippians are used to it by now, and we can definitely handle it. But looking at the Futurecast for the rest of our Monday night, heading into Tuesday evening, this is our strike model showing some lingering rain chances affecting the most eastern part of our viewing area, trying to give some more isolated chances of rainfall. But I'm gonna step over here because around Tuesday, you can see that there's a big storm system trying to make its way into our viewing area, mainly affecting Alabama as we start off our Tuesday and head towards lunch, but then pretty much affecting, I guess, most of the viewing area just with those spotty pop-up showers. So still, it's like boiling water on a stove. Those bubbles just pop up everywhere. Can't really predict where they are, but it shows that most of our area could get some of those brief rain showers, and we're going to continue tracking that out. You can see some could be on the stronger side. We're not expecting anything severe, but heavy downpours is something we would all love to see, especially for our crops and plants, instead of making that water bill go super high this month. And you can see these storms are going to continue to kind of just develop and sit along the Mississippi River, basically feeding off of that moisture. So definitely the Delta could be getting some more of that rainfall as we head into our Tuesday evening, and then we'll eventually start dissipating as we go into our early morning hours into Wednesday. And of course, because of this rainfall, you can see temperatures are a bit lower than what they were for our Monday, a big dip going into the low 90s, almost upper 80s for most of our viewing area, 88 in the Golden Triangle region, 85 in Louisville, but then of course 92 Water Valley, Grenada, 91 in Senatobia, 93 Clarksdale, Cleveland. So a little bit cooler. We can still continue to see that trend with heat indices. Still going to be muggy because we still have that cloud cover and moisture in the atmosphere, but still something that we would love to see, especially sticking around in the double digits and more of the mid to lower double digits instead of pushing those triple digits. But sorry, I said digits so many times right there. Looking at high temperatures for the next few days, we're sticking around 92. normal high for right now, but we've taken that dip around Tuesday, showing that those rainfall chances could help cool us off for most of our viewing area. And then we're going to start steadily increasing as we go into the rest of our week. Of course, the rain chances will linger, but not as confident as the week continues to play on out. But here's that update on the tropics. We still have those two developments, but notice how since our last broadcast, this has now turned into a huge red blob, just something we would never like to see. That's disturbance number 2 that we're about to get into. This is disturbance number 1. And so from the last broadcast, it had a 0% chance on the development chance for the next 48 hours. It's now been increased to 10%, but I just wanted to kind of put both of not only Tupelo, but Mississippi and the development on the map just to show how far away it is, and the basically vertical motion that we have with this development is not going to affect us if anything were to develop. And of course, with these chances, it's very slim. It's not going to affect not only Mississippi, but the United States as a whole. However, for disturbance number 2, the National Hurricane Center continues to get more and more confident on development. From our last broadcast, it went from 10% of chance of development in the next 48 hours to 50%. And it went from 60% for the next 7 days to 90. So showing how confident they are. This one is still very far away. It's just off the coast of Africa, and it's going to start pushing its way across the Atlantic. I showed y'all in the 10 o'clock live stream last night the moisture in there, but today I wanted to kind of show y'all the dust that it's going to be pretty much trying to avoid. You can see it right here. There's a gap between, I guess you could say, heavy plumes of the dust emitting from the African continent. Definitely wanting to avoid this. It does not like dry conditions because, of course, that'll dry out the storm, and it just wants to avoid that at all costs. So it found a little sweet spot in the middle, and it's just going to kind of keep riding along this little middle part, a split between the dust, and just try to feed off of the Atlantic Ocean, those warm temperatures, and just continue developing. Thankfully, you can see it was moving pretty horizontal with this latitude line, but the latest scan, it does have it kind of curving more northward by Friday, 7 p.m. So this is still very long track model. Never know what could happen, and it changes all the time, as y'all have seen between live streams. But we are hoping that this will continue making that northern path and not really affect the United States as a whole. But of course, we're going to continue tracking that out here at Mississippi Live Weather. But looking at the 7-day forecast, you can see rain chances still lingering around for our Monday, but definitely taking a huge increase, around 40% for our Tuesday. Definitely cooler conditions because of this widespread isolated showers that we could see. But of course, these temperatures will start to increase along with the diminished chances of rainfall. So we're going to continue tracking those out, updating them as you wrap up your weekend. But thank you so much for tuning in, especially for it being such a beautiful day outside. I enjoy spending my weekends here with y'all, and I can't wait to see y'all here live at 10. So see y'all later.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.